Constructivist learning best occurs within a shared, introspective, genuine, scaffolded, contemporary and practical context. In this model, discussions and group work used effectively together can provide the scaffolding to allow students to become more proficient learners. A well-run whole-class discussion is an orderly process of group interaction in which students are exchanging ideas, listening to a variety of points of view, expressing and exploring their own views, applying their knowledge, and reflecting on their attitudes and values. Discussions can and should be used in any subject and at any grade. Discussions can serve to encourage a deep understanding of any topic and can precede or follow group work and direct teaching. The goal of teaching practice is to obtain the best learning outcome for each pupil. I'll use Chickering and Gamson's 7 Principles of Good Teaching Practice to evaluate group work and discussions as teaching strategies. Discussions encourage good communication between teachers and learners. Although the teacher provides the structure and directs the progress of a discussion, students are provided a wide platform to communicate their understanding of a subject. Discussions show teachers how a student is thinking about a subject. Instead of a teacher pushing her interpretation of a text or problem, she invites the students to also interpret a text or solve a problem, and provide their reasoning and elaborate on their ideas. In this way, she not only teaches students to problem solve, but she can also gauge each student's understanding of a topic. Discussions also encourage interaction among learners. Inherent to discussion is a verbal exchange between learners, where they assist each other to improve their perception of an idea. Discussion provides opportunity for active participation because throughout a discussion, students will be assessing topics, giving their views, and developing reasoning and problem-solving skills. Teachers can teach students to actively listen to each other, to provide constructive feedback for each other's suggestions and ideas, to encourage all group members to contribute to the group task, to try to understand other group members' perspectives, and to monitor and evaluate the progress of the group. As Chickering and Gamson emphasize, this sharing and collaboration enhances thinking skills and broadens our understanding of a topic. Discussions all allow for timely and appropriate response and feedback. According to Chickering and Gamson, knowing what you know and don't know focuses learning. The response and feedback in a discussion are immediate, with the participant being able to assess himself and others based on the response of his interaction. Discussions motivate learning by communicating expectations. Following group work, teachers can construct an incident or use a specific example that did occur in group work to launch a class discussion about the role of each student in a group. Discussions respect diverse talents and ways of learning and enable students to see different points of view. If the group have a shared purpose, which is to broaden their understanding of a topic or to reach some kind of conclusion on an issue, then everybody's point of view is important and relevant. Each student's personal interests and talents will bring a fresh perspective to the topic. In group work, 2 or more students contribute to the learning job, monitor the effects of each other's contributions, and together come up with solutions and conclusions. Group work shifts the focus from students being passive recipients of information to being active learners. This can enhance students' achievement and retention, particularly when their activities are challenging, and activate multi-sensory systems and executive functions as students strive to make sense of their experience. Group work teaches students to be less reliant on the teacher and more reliant on their own ability to think and seek information from other sources. Group work can be a useful way of activating students' prior knowledge and helping them to reconstruct their understanding of the subject matter, both critical elements of learning that has been explained by neuroscience. Group work encourages students to verbalize their ideas and feelings, and this can help them to understand the subject matter and to understand their learning processes. Let's look at group work in a maths lesson. In order to understand the geometric concept of capacity, the teacher shows the children a number of containers of varying shapes and capacities. She explains that there's a smoothie to share and each group must choose the container that will give them the most smoothie. The group needs to talk about the containers and put them in order of capacity. They're given a few chances, they can correct mistakes and develop a strategy for comparison. A whole class discussion at the beginning with the teacher asking appropriate questions. How can we find out if the containers hold the same amount? What can we tell just by looking at them? Will facilitate problem solving. Sometimes teachers are conflicted about making sure they completed the curriculum and still nurtured contributions from their students. Through the integrated use of whole class discussion and group work, students get the chance to work on large projects simultaneously and then come together as a whole. For example, in a Year 6 classroom, discussion can be used to discuss important themes that may run through a novel being studied in class. The teacher could pose moral dilemma questions or try and ascertain pupils' understanding of various themes that may occur in the text. The class could then be broken into groups with mixed competency levels to each handle a chapter, like look for themes and characters, etc. They could come together as a whole to ascertain whether their opinions had changed and to iron out any conflicts in the group. In conclusion, considering that school may be the sole platform for a child to learn how to speak, listen and think effectively, group work, together with whole class discussions, should be integral to any subject being taught.